Brazil is known for their beautiful scenery and their brilliant soccer team, but what you don't know what goes in the heart of Brazil: corruption and police brutality. The corruption in Brazil is due to drug lords who pay the police so they don't enforce laws that are supposed to, quote-unquote, apply to them. The only difference is without police brutality, Brazil would be able to survive, with happy citizens who know that they are safe and feel that they're safe because they're protected by their law enforcement. Through these two topics, I'll explain what Brazil is facing and how they can overcome it. Corruption in Brazil is detrimental to the country as a whole because it affects the businesses which dictate the economy, the citizens, and law enforcement. Corruption creates many obstacles for businesses in Brazil. These companies have to negotiate with many regulatory agencies because of their political system and the federal structure. This causes many bribes and demands for the public official or the law enforcement in Brazil. Brazil has passed the anti-bribery laws in 2014. These laws were especially enforced to the entities found guilty for bribing foreign officials and law enforcement. If the company is caught, the company has to give away 20% of their annual income to the government or could face foreclosure. This is not just businesses and law enforcement, this also is the government. According to the anti-business portal, the Brazilian tax system is a complex and reportedly prone to corruption. It is reported that tax collectors frequently ask bribes to relax assessments and inspections, to refrain pursuing their acts of tax fraud, or to give advice of legal possibilities of reducing tax obligations. According to the FCP Americas, 2008 and 2012, the amount of individuals that were convicted for passive corruption increased a whooping 130%. This is only the judicial decisions that is 7 times higher that has increase of the incarcerated population during the same period. Police brutality in Brazil is one of the main reasons why Brazil is failing as a country. The police are killing thousands of citizens just because they have the power to, and they don't need to follow the law because they are the law. According to the Foreign Affairs, Brazilian police undergo a lot of killings without justifications. They report false executions and shootouts and remove the bodies from the crime scene, and they say that they're killing people as an act of self-defense. As a specific example that occurred in January earlier this year, Brazilian surfer named Ricardo dos Santos was killed after an altercation about a parked car in Brazil. He was shot 3 times in the chest. He died at the age of 24 years old. People idolized him as a savior because he grew up with nothing, but through surfing he was actually able to create millions, and he was successful, and he gave back to the country. Now he was dead over a mutual argument with some petty police officer.
Yeah.
The Brazilian police shot 11,000 people between the years 2009 and 2013. This evidence clearly shows how Brazil police use abusive force and lethal force toward the citizens or the people of Brazil. It finds ways. Brazil has been trying to stop police brutality with the anti-bribery laws they passed. If Brazil finds a way to halt police brutality, they would be able to eliminate what is holding them back from being one of the most beautiful places and the most safest places on earth. In conclusion, Brazil is violating Article 2 in the Universal Declaration, and they are also violating the first article by how people are not born with equal rights. Brazil as well are violating Article 3, where it states everyone has a right to life, liberty, and the security of a person. The government in Brazil is lacking the safety of each person because police are able to kill innocent people but corrupt the scene so it looks like they did their duty correct. If Brazil eliminates corruption and police brutality, they would be able to have a stable economy, less death rate, and the people would be able to feel safe in their own country, and they can always go back to them and look at them for protection. Not to kill innocent citizens for ransom money. That is why Brazil is violating the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.